from today onwards, we are going to see about the IBSA interview. Okay, so I took some questions from the Google, obviously with the help of some AI tools, and I'm going to just give the brief introduction. Okay, this is not something like preparation. Obviously, this is the type or the something sub part of the preparation. But I'm just going to give you something about the brief about the IB, what type of questions they will ask you in it. Okay, so this is going to be a very basic thing, like what we are going to see actually. See what they like, what kind of questions they can ask. Okay, we are just going to see it on the roughly on the like front line or something like that. I would like to suggest you one thing, ki do open any chat gpt. Like I prefer the chat gpt, but if you don't have the subscription, like obviously there are free trials, but after some questions, if you are continuously asking the questions in there, so it gets stopped after some time. So go for the Gemini, Google Gemini, go over there and start your interview preparation. Okay, now how you are going to do it, मी त्याचं एक ट्युटोरियल देईल की कशा पद्धतीने जेमिनाय किंवा चॅट जी पी टीचा यूज करून आपण इंटरव्ह्यूची पर्सनल प्रिपरेशन करणार आहोत, की ज्यामध्ये आपण आपले पर्सनल ॲन्सर्स देणार आहोत. ठीक आहे, जे पण आहेत आपण इथे ओव्हरव्ह्यू ॲन्सर्स पाहणार आहोत वगैरे, बट यू शुड मेक सम ॲन्सर्स जे तुमचे स्पेसिफिक असतील. ओके, जे फक्त तुमच्या रिलेटेड असतील. नाव देअर इज वन मोर क्वेश्चन विच इज सो इम्पॉर्टंट, इंटरव्ह्यू लँग्वेज. दिस इज द इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन फॉर यू की विच लँग्वेज यू गाईज हॅव टू सिलेक्ट. ठीक आहे, लँग्वेज कुठली असणार आहे. शुड आय टॉक इन टू द इंग्लिश, लाईक इंटरव्ह्यू इंग्लिशमध्ये होईल की मराठीमध्ये होईल की हिंदीमध्ये होईल. ठीक आहे, सो हिअर definitely they expecting you to know the English, and they also expecting you to know the Marathi. Hindi is like they will not going to check about Hindi, not very surely. They are going to focus on the English and Marathi mostly, because you are going to work into the Maharashtra. So Maharashtra region मध्ये काम करण्यामुळे you must have to be very good into the Marathi, and also you should have the knowledge and the communicative knowledge about the English. Okay, so you should have the good vocab, or I can say that they are not going to check about your grammar, they are not going to check anything about you. Okay, in interview they are mostly checking about your confidence, they are checking about your honesty, how honestly you are answering the questions. Then they are also checking about how you are facing the situation. Like they are going to ask you some about the situation based questions. Okay, after some days, like after this is just an introductory video. Okay, I'm just trying to give you the brief overview about what is interview is asking. Okay, and I took some of the questions from the AI only, like from ChatGPT. I took some of the questions which are repeating again and again into the IB, and these are very basic questions. They are asking this type of questions are asking in every type of interview. Okay, recently in December I gave the SSB interview. In SSB interview they asked these questions. In any kind, I gave the EPFO, there also they ask the same questions. Okay, in every interview they are asking the same type of questions, which are like basic introductory questions. Like in any interview, either you go into the private, either you go into the government, in any job interview they are going to ask you about the basic introductory questions. Okay, the questions like tell me about yourself. So language, you in whichever language you are comfortable. If you are comfortable into the English, just start to talk into the English. You just have to present yourself into the confident way. Okay, it's not like you are trying to shop or something like that. No, and here I doesn't mean that you have to be confidently present yourself, present your thoughts into that language. It doesn't mean that you have to get the accent. Okay, you don't need to try to get accent whenever you are talking into the English. You just have to be into the normal accent. Okay, you don't have to change the accent. Oh my god, you don't have to go into the like sobo at that sentence which I said just now. You don't have to go into the sobo language or something like that. You just have to talk into the normal English with confidence. And if they are asking, the first most important point which I have to say is, If they ask the question into the English, your answer have to be into the English. Okay. पण जर त्यांनी क्वेश्चनच जर मराठीमध्ये केला आहे तर तिथे बिनकामाचं बोलू नका इंग्लिशमध्ये. ठीक आहे. यू हॅव टू आन्सर इन टू द मराठी ओनली. पण जर त्यांनी क्वेश्चन इंग्लिशमध्ये केला आहे तर तुमचा आन्सरही इंग्लिशमध्ये असलं पाहिजे. लाईक टेल मी अबाउट युअर सेल्फ. दे आस्क यू अबाउट टेल मी अबाउट युअर सेल्फ, देन यू हॅव टू आन्सर इन टू द इंग्लिश. बट इफ दे आस्क इन टू द मराठी की मला तुमच्याबद्दल तुम्ही सांगा, आता जर त्यांनी मराठीमध्ये विचारलं तर तुमचा आन्सरही मराठीमध्येच हवं आहे. ठीक आहे. अँड दिस विल ऑल्सो इम्प्लाइज ऑन दिस इज लाईक अ इंट्रोडक्टरी क्वेश्चन्स और समथिंग लाईक दॅट. इवन they are going to ask about some security related questions, something like current affairs related questions they will ask. And if they ask into the English, you must have to answer into the English. Okay. But if they ask into the Marathi, you are way more comfortable and always welcome to answer into the Marathi. In Hindi there are obviously some questions like, can they ask into Hindi? There can be possibility they can ask a single question or something like that, or they will just check you, are you comfortable into the Hindi or something like that. But they will mostly focus on to the Marathi. They will take the interview more into the Marathi compared to English and Hindi. But definitely you have to be very confident and comfortable in talking any all other these languages too, which is English and Hindi. Okay. Now let's see some of the questions just briefly. It's not into something deep or something like that. Tell me about yourself. Then if this type of questions comes, so what kind of answer you will start? You can start with your name, then you can start about your educational qualification, you can start about your some hobbies, something like that. You can get some points into it. In this series we are going to see every question into the deep. ठीक आहे. वन बाय वन व्हिडिओ जो याच्यानंतरचा व्हिडिओ असेल तो जो हा क्वेश्चन आहे त्याचं डीपमध्ये तुम्ही काय काय पद्धतीचे आन्सर देऊ शकता त्याचा एक व्हिडिओ असेल. ठीक आहे. बट इन दिस व्हिडिओ वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू सी ऑन द ब्रीफली की कशा टाईपचं तुम्ही एक चालू करू शकता. मोस्टली इंटरव्ह्यू स्टार्टेड विथ टेल मी अबाउट युअर सेल्फ और तुझ्याबद्दल सांग किंवा तुला इंट्रोड्यूस कर, अशा टाईपचंच क्वेश्चन असतो फर्स्ट. ओके. नाव दे कॅन बी स्विच लाईक द फर्स्ट दे कॅन आस्क अबाउट टेल मी अबाउट युअर सेल्फ, दे कॅन डायरेक्टली स्विच इन टू दी लाईक starting with the current affairs or something like that, or either they can start with some very introductory questions like why you want to join IB. This is very common question na? In whichever job interview you go, they ask you, even if you go into the private job, they ask you why you wanted to join this company. So in the same way in IB also they will ask why do you want to join the IB. Then again they will ask you what you know about the IB. In any company, even if you go into the UPSC interview, they don't ask about do you know the IB or something, do you know the UPSC. But this is very common question, why you want to join the civil services examination. So this is very basic question and common question in any kind of interview. And this question asked into the private job also, like do you know what you know about this company, what you know about this organization. And same into the IB they are going to ask what do you know about the IB, correct. Then this is again the similar question, like which is very common, what are your strengths and weaknesses. And here you don't have to be like glamorize, I don't have any weaknesses. No, you just have to tell one or two. If they ask you tell me your 3 weaknesses, you should know your 3 weaknesses. Okay. Because we are the human being, we have some weaknesses, we have some strengths. It's not like we are not a 100% perfect human beings. So we do have the weaknesses and we do share about our weaknesses with them. Okay. Okay, here you have to be very honest about what are your weaknesses. Everyone has it, and that's completely fine if you are saying some weaknesses. Now I'll tell some of the weaknesses. I'll give you the examples, but I'll suggest you to be honest with them. What are your weaknesses? Analyze yourself, because they wanted to know की हाऊ मच यू नो अबाउट युअर सेल्फ, है ना. तुम्ही स्वतःला स्वतःबद्दल किती जास्त चांगल्या पद्धतीने ओळखतायत. दॅट्स वॉट दे वॉन्टेड टू चेक अबाउट यू. सो दॅट्स वाय दे आर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन. सो डोंट बी लाय हिअर की आय डोंट हॅव एनी विकनेसेस, मला काहीच नाही, आय एम जस्ट अ स्ट्रॉंग पर्सन. नो, नाव नॉट अ सिंगल ह्युमन बीइंग कॅन बी लाईक दिस. Okay, every human being can have the weaknesses and strong points. Then this is very common question, why should we select you? Exactly, like as you saw into the tier 2 examination, there were around 2000 students, and why there must be some, after qualification they will reduce some number. But for example, if they are taking the 1000 students from tier 2 qualification examination, then what is something different about you apart from triple nine people? Triple nine, okay, means like for example 1000 students are, they are qualifying into the tier 2 examination, then what is different from 999 students and you? Okay, and they wanted to know why they should select you. You have to be something different, you have to be extra as compared to the another candidate. Then tell me about your family background, and the most important point is IB do the background verification. Yeah, so in the most of the private companies background verification happens, but in IB a strict background verification happens. So you should be honest about your family background, from where you are coming, who to with whom you are staying, how many members are staying, if you are staying outside from your hometown for your study purpose or something like that, you should share all of this. Then they will ask about the questions about some intelligence bureau and related to security, like they will ask about what is the role of intelligence bureau into the security purpose, how it works. Then they will ask about the difference between raw and IB, because both are the security related agencies. Then like home minister, this is like something like a current affairs basic static questions they will ask, like what is, who is the home minister or something like that. We will go into the deep. Then ministry, and in like IB is working under the home ministry, correct? So they will ask you in which ministry the IB comes. Then they will ask about the home ministry related questions and like that. Then what is internal security and why it is important, what are the traits for the internal security related questions. Then they can also ask the questions related to the border, because it also coming under the internal security. For example, they will ask you about the Bangladeshi immigrants, or like then from Nepal, the people are coming outside from the India, and how it is threatening to the internal security. They can ask the questions like that. Then internally, these are some like some terms from the intelligence. They will ask you questions related to like surveillance, national security, intelligence gathering. Then let's come to the job related questions, as this is as a ESA post and not a officer post, right? So they will ask you what is ESA, why you wanted to join as a ESA and not as a ACIO officer, right? They can ask this kind of questions. Then they will essay have sometimes it having the field work. They can ask you, are you ready to do the field work, are you ready to do the work night shifts? Okay, there, obviously this is mostly the desk job, but they will ask you this kind of questions, like if the situation comes, are you ready to work for the night shifts, are you ready to work for the field work. Then they can ask you about the physical fitness. If you tell into your introductory thing, like I'm going to the gym, or I'm doing some physical activities, then they will ask you something depth into it. And obviously if you troll into the introductory thing only, that I'm doing this and that about your physical things, then they will assure that, or they will ask something, or they will double check about it, are you physically fit or something like that. Then they will ask something related to secrecy related questions, because they wanted to check, are you the person who can maintain the secrecy. They will also ask the confidential information on how you will, they can might be give the situation based question, where they will give you this kind of situation that your spouse, like for the girls they can ask, if your husband having this and he is asking that you should share this information with him, will you share with him or not. They can give you the situation where you have to share or something like that. But in these cases you have to be very honest, and you have to be confident, no, I'm not going to share this information with, even with my husband, at any cost. This kind of questions they can ask. Then current affairs question, that can be something like one word question like this, and it's just an example. These are not something, this kind of questions with them, these are just examples, whatever into the current news, when in whichever month interview will happen, if something into the current news, then this type of questions will come. Then personal questions they might be asked. This is a very common question into the SSB, like UPSC CDS का जो SSB interview होता है. This is very common question. Do you have girlfriend or boyfriend? So you have to be very honest over here. They don't wanted to judge over here. They just wanted to check your honesty. Okay, this is also like the similar kind of question. Do you drink or smoke? Like alcohol, this they wanted to ask you about alcohol and cigarette smoking. So this is again, I can say, they just wanted to check your honesty or something like that. You don't have to be lie or something like that. They are not here for judging you. Then have you ever been in a police case, like they just wanted to check, are you into the crimes or something like that. This is the important question. Do you use the social media? And you have to be very honest about it. If you are onto the social media and you are using the social media, you should share about it. Yes, I am onto the social media, I am that's what, these are the platforms and which, for example, in my case, I am using the Instagram, I am using the Telegram and YouTube. So I have to be, and in your case also, most of the peoples are onto the social media. You just have to be very honest about it. Yes, I am onto the social media site, and that's what I am doing onto the social media, because they do the strict background verification, as I already said. Okay, have you traveled any time into the outside of the state? Because state means, this doesn't mean Maharashtra state, this mean nation. Okay, have you ever traveled outside the country of India? Why they wanted to ask you this question? There are some cases you must be watching to the movies or web series कि another countries or the enemy countries are uh, planting them people into the country. Okay, so if you had gone over there and you get influence from that, and then you get planted over here, and that's why you wanted to join the IB or something like that, they just wanted to check about it, and that's why they asked this question. Okay, then they also asked, do you have any political relation? This is again the like personal question, something like that. You don't have to be get nervous when they ask about the personal questions. Like if they ask about, do you have girlfriend or boyfriend, something like that, you don't need to get nervous or something like, oh my god, how someone can ask me about my personal life. They can ask because this is the nation's security questions. So some kind of questions they do ask, and it's not for you judging you or something like that. They just wanted to know you. Okay, something kind of tough questions, like if you are coming from the, I can say, the technical background or something like that, they can ask you why you hadn't joined the private job, why you wanted to go into the government job, or what if you fail into this interview, what you will do if you fail into this interview, what if we don't select you into this interview, what you will do, and uh, are you preparing for the other examination? Why they ask you for this question? Because if you join for this post, they wanted you to, you were long term commitment. So I'll suggest to give, will you leave this job offer or something like that. Like I don't think like most of the people's not preparing full time for the IB. Definitely we are preparing for most of the examinations, and IB is just one of them, correct? So they wanted to know, are you willing to give the long term commitment for the exam, for this post or something like that. So you have to say yes, I am ready to give the long term commitment. Also you have to give the answer as, I wanted to serve the nation. You should be very strong opinions on, I wanted to serve the nation, because this will be give the more benefit or something like that. Okay, we will see each of the question into the detailing. I'll take each of the single question of the interview into the depth, and the ways how you can answer the single question into multiple ways. But I have to say, as I already say, as we are going to start with the series of it, that interview questions, but I wanted to say you, use any AI platform and start to practice to talk over here. Okay, I think most of the peoples are much more comfortable while talking into the Marathi. So do the preparation of the interview also into the English, because you should must know the English and Marathi. So, and the people who are not comfortable into the Marathi, they should also do the practice of the Marathi talking by using AI tools like ChatGPT, Google AI, Gemini. I'll take one tutorial how we can use that tools for our interview preparation, because even I am using AI tools at the most. Like I'm using the technologies as much as possible into my studies. So I'll give one of the tutorial how we can ask the questions to them. Like I would like to suggest, whenever you can ask one question to the, like, once the chat gpt asks you one questions, so you just can stop or pause to the chat gpt and give your answer. Okay, give your answer, then give this answer to the chat gpt for analysis. It can give you the analysis, like where you should be negative, where you are positive, which points you presented in a positive manner, which point you presented into the negative manner. And ChatGPT will give you the analysis, and according to that analysis you have to improvise yourself. Okay, so let's see, and let's go up with this series and have, this is the end of for today. At least, like, this is just an introductory on the brief about the questions and something like that. Okay, well, all the very best and be very confident. I just wanted to say one more thing. Start to talk into the mirror. Okay, might be from today onwards we will get around 1 month for our interview. Expect around the 15th of April if we are expecting the interview. So we do have the 1 month. Do the mirror talks whenever you are sitting with the friends. Start to talk, start to give the opinions on the points about yourself into the formal way. Don't be like into the friends talk. अरे यार तू काय करतो, काय कसा आहे, जेवला का? No, we have to talk into the formal way. Do the mirror talks if you don't have any kind of circle like that who can talk with you in a formal manner. Then I'll suggest you to do the mirror talk. Do the mirror talk. Just stand in front of the mirror, talk about yourself, tell about some current affairs or something like that. Just be have to be into the flow, because you wanted to present yourself into the confidence. So be with yourself. Okay, and that's done for the day one. Have fun, guys, and have fun with the studies. Bye bye.